about it. I didn't want to deal with Ric Flair. I don't really want to deal with Hacksaw Butch Reed. $50,000 Butch Reed, I done told them people. I done told Ric Flair. I told you that I gave the money back to Ric Flair. Ric Flair can settle his differences on his own. As for me and you, all I want is a wrestling match, Butch Reed. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I've ever looked for. Now, $50,000 bounty match. You want to have a match with me now? Well, you think I want a piece of you? Not really. But I know one thing. Butch Reed, I'm going to have to fight you now.
Team wrestling, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first in the blue corner at a combined weight of 440 pounds, Tommy Wright and Nick Patrick.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the newly formed tag team of the Nightmare and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Now, as long as I've got this microphone in my hand, I've got your attention. There is an announcement I want to make concerning this team right here. You know, when I first came to this area, Hot Stuff was managing the career of the Nightmare. We had a little falling out, but things are better now between us. And I've taken a long look at Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And all I find is that he's a great athlete, a great wrestler, a great competitor, plus he's got the poster contest, the picture contest, which I think is fantastic, because some lucky woman out there is going to own this picture, but more about that later. They're united. This is a team that I'm going to take, and I want to go on record as saying this right now. I will take them to the Mid-South Tag Team Championship, brother. You can count on that. You can take it to the bank. Now, a very interesting situation concerning another one of my people, the person of Humongous. Jake the Snake running around saying, I've got the ultimate weapon in the DDT. I've got this and I've got that. Well, let me tell you something, Snake Roberts. I've got a little piece of videotape with me today, and I want everybody out here to take a look at, and then tell me how effective that DDT is. So, Mr. Director, if you would please run that videotape.
Humongous goes to body slam the Snake, but the Snake slithers around and DDT! DDT! He's put the big man down. Now he's got that bug-eyed, freak-haired toad Humperdink in the ring, and the Snake is putting it to him. Humongous sat up. Humongous sat up. I've never seen anybody get up. He's come from behind. Watch out, Snake.
And now I ask you,
Can we
just a minute, Hot Stuff. How effective is that DDT? It didn't work on the big guy, and it won't work in the future on the big guy. Now, we'll start talking. Wait a minute now. What is this? Hey.
All right. Just a second here, gentlemen.
Humperdink, I want you to listen to me. You think that man is so bad. You think he's so big nobody can put him down. Well, that's a real nice piece of film you just showed. A real nice piece of film, and I'm a little bit surprised. But I'll tell you something. Where there's a will, there's a way. If a man is hungry, he finds something to eat. If a man is thirsty, he finds something to drink. I found the way. And if you're a good little toad, I'll show it to you. No, I want to show you what he looks like, all right? I better not. He's sleeping. I'll show you in time.
What has he got in the bag? It's a serpent or something. He's got snakes in his bag. What he's got.
What surprise is going on? Looks like they're clearing the ring and have battle. We didn't get to hear about Eddie Gilbert's picture. The Snake interrupted those plans. Listen to the people chant, Jake, Jake, Jake.
Alfred Neely called for the bell now. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and the Nightmare versus Nick Patrick and Tommy Wright. And it's Wright against Gilbert in the ring, Bill.
Well, I'll tell you, I just wonder what Jake the Snake had in that bag. Could it be?
I wanted to see.
He's a little bit, he walks to a different tune. Tommy Wright back, one of the top junior heavyweight challengers in the world, and people have been hearing rumors that we may be having a tournament for the world's junior heavyweight title. You know, the Mid-South was the area for years with Danny Hodge dominated, and Leroy McGurk before him was synonymous with this area being the top junior heavyweights, and we've been talking about it with our board of directors. We've got Hacksaw Butch Reed, who holds both the North American title and the TV title up next, then Humongous, then Jake the Snake, then Al Perez against the world's heavyweight champion, Ric Flair. Of course, next week, Ric Flair will defend the world's title here. Good move there. Eddie Gilbert's down for a predicament. That Humongous reminds me of almost like that movie about the Terminator, where it just seems impossible to stop him. And of course, the Nightmare out there is another man that keeps coming on. He keeps punishing, methodical. He and Eddie Gilbert had a great relationship till Humperdink came in. It's amazing how Humperdink seems to slither around too and patch up and use people to further the house of Humperdink.
Well, when Humperdink said he would introduce a team, Bill, I didn't guess that this would be the two.
I didn't either, but, you know, like I say, Humperdink is on a quest, and he seems to be attacking from many different angles, where you never know who's his real target. Eddie Gilbert, tremendous athlete. You got to give him credit. He's a little bit stuck on himself, I think. He's got that contest going where the ladies can send in 50 words or less just why they want that picture, and we were hoping to get an update on it. He looked like he had a sack full of mail, and he seemingly is kind of wanting to hang on to the picture maybe himself more than give it away. He keeps changing the rules and the terms of the write-in contest, but Mid-South has been getting a tremendous amount of mail about people wanting Eddie Gilbert's pictures, what he says. I don't know. I bet some of those letters tell him what they think he ought to do with it. Nick Patrick out there now, firing away. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert in some trouble. Not an auspicious debut for this new team as Nick Patrick and Tommy Wright, with that quickness and speed, are really taking it to him. Oh, there's that move. There's that move. But Eddie Gilbert is so devastating.
That's a hot shot. Watch, take a look at the hot shot.
The hot shot, he calls it. Hot Stuff calls it the hot shot.
I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it.
Eddie Gilbert shows he's a little bit of a politician, too. He had Nick Patrick finished off, but gave the victory to his new partner, the Nightmare.
And they are the victors. We'll be back. The North American Heavyweight Champion, Hacksaw Butch Reed, in action after this word from the exciting Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.
And a time limit. Introducing first in the red corner at 255 pounds from Nashville, Tennessee, Ricky Starr. His opponent, the current North American Heavyweight Champion and Mid-South Television Champion at 265 pounds from Kansas City, Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Introduction as Ricky Starr comes to Mid-South Wrestling and takes on a man-sized job in the form of Hacksaw Butch Reed, who's the North American Champion and the Mid-South Television title holder, Bill. That's right. This may be the last time we'll see him holding both of those, because Butch Reed has said he wants to concentrate on his quest to become the first black world's heavyweight champion. In order to do that, he must hold on to the North American title. He doesn't feel he can properly defend both. We've decided in 2 weeks to start a tournament to see who will be the new Mid-South Television Champion. I got to say one thing right quickly. You see Butch Reed limping to the ring. Last night he badly injured his knee, his left knee. But this guy is what it takes. This is the kind of guts. He didn't complain. As a matter of fact, right before today's television show, I helped him tape that knee. And I know how excruciating it is, but he doesn't complain. He just says, load the wagon, I'll be there. This is the kind of athlete that I'm proud to know, proud to associate with, proud to have on Mid-South. Hacksaw Butch Reed. Of course, Dick Slater has denied that he has the bounty money. He says he's giving it back to Ric Flair. Ric Flair said he hasn't got it. So there's some interesting things happening. And 1, 2, 3, Ricky Starr found out what it is to meet the North American Champion. And Hacksaw Butch Reed gains a victory. We'll be back when action returns on Mid-South Wrestling.
The time limit. Introducing first in the blue corner at 254 pounds from Texarkana, Arkansas, Perry Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only creature to walk from the valley of death. The one, the only, Humongous.
In front with the introduction of Perry Jackson and Sir Oliver Humperdink doing the honors for Humongous.
Humperdink unveils Monster. the creature as he calls him. The man who we saw in that short film clip got up, sat right up after Jake the Snake had DDT'd him. Of course, credit must be given to that hockey mask, that plastic goalie's mask, or whatever. We've had tons of mail criticizing Mid-South for allowing people to wear this. We don't tell them what they can or can't wear. I want to say one thing. I've wrestled a lot of guys that had a lot of different paraphernalia. The exciting thing about wrestling, it's like chess, it's like a human chess, is to figure out what it takes to counter or to beat your opponent, no matter what he uses, no matter what he wears. It's still exciting. I still like to take care of my own battles, just like Jim Duggan, like Butch Reed, like Jake the Snake. And I'm really interested in what Jake the Snake had in that sack that he says he's got the answer. Because I'll tell you, when he said he had the greatest hold in wrestling, we found out that to be a fact. Perry Jackson, a young rookie, protege of Grizzly Smith, big kid, strong, but he's against a machine. He's 250 pounds in the creature. Look at that. Perry Jackson, 6'4", 254, 260 pounds, and the creature almost decapitated him. He literally just totally upended that young man. He landed on the top of his head, and now the Shinonomaki and the creature from the Valley of Death, Humongous, claims another victim.
Humongous, the tremendous, powerful grappler over Perry Jackson, will return as we see El Corsario in the ring against Jake the Snake after this message from Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.
10-minute time limit. Introducing first in the red corner at 232 pounds from Puerto Rico, El Corsario. His opponent in the blue corner at 251 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, the man with a DDT, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Look at that, Bill, as El Corsario, but look at Jake the Snake. He brought the bag. All right.
Jake the Snake. This could be some serious trouble for the forces of Humperdink. El Corsario, a martial arts expert. However, he has lost his leader as the Midnight Rider, and Hacksaw Duggan got rid of Skandar Akbar and his army. And of course, El Corsario, who doesn't speak a word of English, has been at a complete disadvantage without that leadership, and he tries 3 straight chops to the face of Jake the Snake with no effect. Jake the Snake may have just got the weapon needed to counter Lord Humongous and to even things up. You know, I was talking to him the other day, and I said, if the man gets up from one of those DDTs, you may have to drop him a couple more times. But you know you got a hold that can put him down. Stick with it. And now Jake the Snake, terrific. Great idea, fight fire with fire. Now that's what I like about professional wrestling. They don't cry to somebody to protect them. They say, just open the door. If this guy can do it, so can I. And I love that. And I think that's the way it ought to be. That's what makes this the most exciting sport in the world today. That's why it has the greatest and most loyal fans, despite what anything says about it, against it, for it, upside down, sideways. They want to see their wrestlers because they enjoy it. And when you have personalities, oh, he went for the DDT, but El Corsario quickly dropped it, slid out of the ring. He knew that if Jake the Snake hooked it up, that the next thing he's going to be looking at was those lights. And when you're looking up those lights, you're getting beat. Listen to this crowd, DDT. DDT, they want it. The crowd is up, another overflow crowd here at the Irish McNeil Boys Club. And remember, coming up next, we got Ric Flair against one half of the Mid-South Tag Titles holders, Al Perez, in what should be a fantastic match. Oh, hey, the people love it. Quickly, Jake the Snake was kind of gloating in the glory of being protected in the face because Humongous has just about made his head hamburger, and Corsario attacked another part of the body. But Corsario went for the goal, so to speak, in one move and missed. And Jake knows he's hurt. He's hooked it up. And he just dropped him. He dropped him. And listen to this crowd. They love it.
Crowd's on their feet, and El Corsario's on his back as Jake the Snake once again gains a victory with his tremendous hold that no one can apply like he. Coming up next, Al Perez taking on NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Ric Flair.
One time wrote a song called Imagine. Start off by saying something about imagine if there was no heaven and imagine if there was no hell. What a strange world this would be. Imagine. You know what I'm imagining right now, Humperdink? 5 minutes with you. Imagine what I could do to you in 5 minutes, you fat little toad. You know why I'm coming after you, Humperdink, because you're the one that cost me a lot of hard-earned money. A lot of time I spent with that dumb barbarian trying to teach him everything I knew. And you blew it all. No disqualification with the big guy, Humongous. The mask has got to come, man. And then, Humperdink, 5 more minutes with you. I'll be there.
Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, Al Perez goes with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert Friday night right here in Houston.
That's right, Jim Ross. You know, I'm just so happy today. I'm happy to be a member of the House of Humperdink. Thank you, Sir Oliver. You know, I even asked Sir Oliver, I said, can I have my own room in the house? He said, no, I'll give you your own chamber. And I'm real happy. Al Perez, you're going to be mine in Houston.
What does Mid-South think they're trying to pull? What does Jake Roberts think he's trying to pull? By going out and getting a hockey mask and wearing that mask in Houston, Texas, with the stipulations, no disqualification, and if he beats the creature for the 3 count, he gets me for 5 minutes. Well, Jake Roberts, you might outsmarted yourself this time, because I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to lay it on the table for you. We're going to take that mask off one way or the other, and Jake, if it means taking your head off with it, we're going to do it.
This non-title event features, first of all, in the red corner, at 245 pounds from Charlotte, North Carolina, the heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy, Ric Flair. This match is scheduled to be Al Perez versus Ric Flair. Al Perez is scheduled.
Get Al Perez down here and get this monkey out of the ring. You don't belong in this ring with me, brother. Where's Al Perez? Get him down here right now. Hey, that microphone. I heard you up there on the monitor and you out here jaw-jacking Slick Rick about you don't like Butch Reed and that you don't need Dick Slater. You can take care of it of me yourself. Well, let me tell you one thing, Chump. I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. So, boy, let's get it on right now. Jim Ross, if I weren't scheduled to wrestle Al Perez right here, I'd take care of you in a New York second, because you understand there's a difference between you and me, and it stands out. Just look in the camera. I don't like you, but I'm waiting on Al Perez. Get him in here. Get out of the ring. Ric Flair, I'm going to give you a shot to take me out because you a back jumper, just along with them other kindly dogs like Slater that you hired. Now, I'm going to give you a chance to earn your money back. Here's my back jumper. Now, do I look like the kind of man that has to take a run at a guy's back, huh?
Well, Bill, he answered his question.
We got a match. It's not the match that was signed. But you know, Butch Reed is really getting fed up with Ric Flair hiring people to take him out and running his mouth about him. And I say one thing, Ric Flair, I've watched him since he was a kid. I watched him develop. He won that world title. But pretty soon that title consumed you. It obsessed you. Former great friend of his, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream in Atlanta, Georgia. He broke Dusty's ankle. Ric Flair's getting desperate. He's tasted the lifestyle. He loves it. And the title has taken all conscience, all moral aspect right out of him. He sold himself out for the gold. But he's against Butch Reed. And Reed's a hungry man. Reed wants to do something for himself, for his race, for the people of Mid-South. And he wants to become the first black world's heavyweight champion. And he's tired of Flair not putting it on the line. Backslide, Ric Flair's in trouble. Albert Daly got Ric Flair, got his feet to the rope. Albert Daly right on top of it. He slid out of the ring to give himself room to count it, which would enable him to see the feet of the rope. And we've got an unscheduled contest here. This is the kind of thing that happens on Mid-South. It's exciting. It's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. That's why everyone in the world that can get Mid-South to their TV station, they elects it the #1 wrestling program in the world today, and we thank you. Albert Neely said, get it on, Slick Rick. Step on in there. You've really told him what you could do to him. Now you got your shot. I loved it with Butch Reed. turned his back on the world's champion in complete disdain, just like he did last week to Dick Slater. And Slater said, hey, I don't want you. I gave the $50,000 back. And Slater didn't show up today. I don't think he wanted to face Reed, nor did he want to face Ric Flair, because there's 50 grand somewhere. Got to recall, though, Ric Flair is the NWA World Champion. And defending that title, you face the top competition in the country several times a week. It gets you in tremendous condition. It keeps you ready. It keeps you at your peak. And Butch Reed, as I said last night, he may be going on guts alone because he hurt his left knee, and I didn't even think he could wrestle. And here he is. He's come right out and challenged the world champion. Now, friend, that's the kind of man I respect. It's like Bobby Lyons, the former great quarterback, Hall of Famer. Last played for the Detroit Lions. He said, in the National Football League, you got to play with pain. When you're a professional athlete, you don't go, there's no dough. These guys got tremendous pride. They got high thresholds of pain. But right now, Butch Reed is hurting. He's hurting. Did he land on that bad knee? Can he get back in the ring? I believe you made Ric Flair a tactician, a smart, a man that knows to take every move there is, take it to his advantage. A man that'll outweight you. He'll try to push you past the time, make you carry him. Tremendous move. He lost him. He went for the suplex and lost him. Butch has got him pinned. Butch almost had him beat. Butch almost had him beat. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, next week Ric Flair has to defend that NWA World title right here. Butch has got him in a sleeper. Butch has got him in the sleeper. Butch could be forcing Ric Flair to have to put that title if Butch beats him here on TV this week. Without a doubt, even Bob Geil cannot deny it. He'll have to give him that title shot here next week. It'll be, come on, Butch. Both men down. Flair broke the sleeper. Neely giving them both a count. They got a 10 count. We're going to stay with it. We're running out of television time, but we're going to stay with it. Flair's carried it to Butch. Suck it up, Butch. You've got to go with it. You've made every break you've ever got. You've taken it to him. Butch blocked him. Butch blocked him. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to stay with it. Oh, look at that. Butch power him up into that standing suplex. We're going to try to stay with it, ladies and gentlemen. We're running out of television time. Butch has got him topped. Flair barely got his foot out.
You gotta be a big fool. You're a real big fool, I think myself now, because you done marked your mark with me and I showed you that $50,000 means a lot of money to Dick Slater, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Now I got you right where I want you. You gotta have a lot of guts to come in the ring with Dick Slater now that your neck is twisted a little bit. Well, Butch Reed, me and Journey plan on taking a long trip after this one. Right down to Rio or somewhere nice where we can lay in the sun and play with the seals and have a good time. Butch Reed, you're gonna have to bring yourself down from the gutter. The gutter, my friend, to beat Dick Slater, because he's gonna get it all done in Houston this time. Dick Slater, you almost earned your money. You almost earned it, but not quite, sucker, because you hurt me. But you made a mistake. You didn't stop me. So let me tell you something, Slater. While I'm out of the ring, I'm wearing this brace so I can keep myself braced up and together for you, when I can take it off and get in the ring and whoop you in the polio, whoop you in the bad health, because you got it coming from me, Slater. You and Ric Flair.
Battle for the North American title that has just been signed between the challenger, Dickie. How are you going to do this?
I'm sitting here. Do you think a little blood is going to stop Dick Slater from accomplishing what he wants to accomplish? You think, Butch Reed, you got out easy? You think, Butch Reed, that I got all the time in the world? I got all the time in the world to get you, my friend. And you think a little blood is going to stop me? Well, you better look down at yourself. You're not right, Butch Reed. I know you're not. Every time I climb in the ring with you, I injure you a little bit more, time after time after time. And now, Butch Reed, I got you right where I want you. See, because you touched out everything that you had inside of you to try to take me out. But $50,000 is in my pocket, my friend, and now I'm coming after the North American Heavyweight Championship. And you can draw all the blood that you want to on Dick Slater, but you will never, never in your entire life think that you're going to have the upper hand on me, because when it comes to Houston, Texas, me and Journey, we rule it. And you and the people that are behind you, the low-life scum that you are, better realize one thing, that you're never going to be a better man than Dick Slater. You'll never be a better man. If you don't believe me, you ask her. You ask her. Because I am the man that's going to own you and own that North American Heavyweight Championship title.
So the challenger, Dick Slater, and you will be hearing from Butch Reed right now.
I'm standing next to North American Heavyweight Champion Hacksaw Butch Reed, a marked man by World's Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair and hitmen like Dickie Slater. This Friday night on the Holiday Bonanza, Hacksaw Butch Reed will defend his North American Heavyweight title belt against Dick Slater.
Right, and I'm more than willing. You understand what I'm talking about, Peter? Because people like Slater just make me real tired in places that I cannot mention on this TV. The last time in Houston, you people seen me whoop Dick Slater into a bloody pulp. And see, it only just begins there, Peter. You understand what I'm talking about? Because when a man is paid a bounty to take out another human being, then he's the lowest thing that ever walks on God's green earth. He's lower than a snake's belly crawling around in the sand. So I got this to tell you, Slater, and I got this to tell you, Ric Flair. I'm going to take care of your hitman, Flair. They hurt me. They hurt me real bad. You got to pay for my neck. You got to pay for the humiliation of your woman getting in my face. That's another thing. A woman belongs in her place. And if you can't keep her in her place, Slater, I'm gonna knock her in her place. So you people get ready for another knockdown, drag out when the North American champion comes to town, because I'm ready. And I'm ready to take Dick Slater out, and then after him, it's you, Flair.
So, North American Heavyweight title match, Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Managed by Sir Oliver Humperdink. And by the way, if Jake wins, he gets 5 minutes for Sir Oliver Humperdink. Weighing in at 320 pounds from the Valley of Death, Humongous. His opponent, weighing in at 253 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Jake the Snake Roberts.
So there you have the introduction, and hold on to your seats.
He shouldn't be able to wear that mask. That mask is illegal.
And you just heard the complaints and the protests of Sir Oliver Humperdink coming over and screaming right into our mic that his mask, Jake the Snake's mask, is illegal. Well, you see Jake the Snake's strategy. Fight fire with fire. One thing to keep in mind, though, Jake the Snake not only has that mask.
Some headgear there that Roberts has on, and I'm protesting. I'm protesting.
You can bet that Sir Oliver Humperdink is interested in this match, because if his man Humongous loses to Jake the Snake, then Jake the Snake gets 5 minutes for Sir Oliver Humperdink. He's a gentleman who's been out here shouting his protest. One thing to keep in mind, a man with the long red tights, because you can't describe these two men any other way because both men have the mask on. This hockey mask. That's Jake the Snake Roberts. Look at Jake the Snake. He has become a super favorite here at Houston Wrestling and throughout the Mid-South wrestling area. He's the man with the DDT. The DDT. You're going to hear the Coliseum echo with that chant throughout this match. The fans here in Houston, Texas have grown to love Jake the Snake and also the hold that has caught their imagination and a hold that has devastated his opponents these last few months. Humongous. That's Jake the Snake you're looking at. So as Jake the Snake backs up, look at that Humongous coming at you. What an intimidating sight. Humongous, undefeated. No one has come close to beating him. Jake the Snake came close when everything busted loose, and that's why they're in this no disqualification match tonight. Guillotine drop, and Jake the Snake has come to do battle. Yeah, you can't put it any other way. You can't put it any other way as Humongous right next to us, getting his instructions by Humperdink. DDT, DDT. Listen to this crowd, our great crowd here in the Coliseum. They're behind Jake the Snake. They're back behind DDT. Humongous flexing his muscles, trying to intimidate Jake, but Jake's not intimidated. One fall with a 20 time limit. You may not see very many wrestling holds in this showdown, but this is something that Houston and Texas wrestling so famous for. The type of matches that have few, if any, holds. These are the rules that wrestlers like to wrestle by. They can get inside the ropes. They're not handcuffed by rules and regulations. As much as some areas, they want to be able to settle the issue and settle it by themselves. They don't want a referee interfering. That's why Texas rules are some of the most liberal rules in the country and allows wrestlers to provide some of the most savage action in the wrestling world. A lot of psychological warfare going up in that ring right now. Humongous. This is the first time he's going up against somebody he's not been able to literally destroy. He's also the first time he's going up against a man who's got a mask on, a hockey mask just like him. Jake the Snake going for the body slam, but he wasn't able to do it. Humongous was. As Jake slithers right out of the ring, Humongous stepping over the ropes. Jake now has got that boot, and he aims and lets it fly. He's now using that boot. Mentioned before, they don't like rules. This is a no disqualification match. As Jake the Snake is going to use that stipulation to its full extent. Driving clothesline by Humongous. And driving boot. Again, Humongous now having Jake on the ground, wants to take full advantage of it. Guillotine drop, and that's a big, big man. Not just a big man, that's a humongous man landing on you with that all his weight. Again, that drop across the chest and throat of Jake. Now that driving headbutt. 5 minutes are gone by in this match between Jake the Snake Roberts and Humongous. Humongous is the man doing the punishing. The man on the mat is Jake the Snake. He's the man at this chant of DDT, DDT throughout the Coliseum as fans try to inspire Jake to battle Humongous. They respected Jake's toughness and his determination inside those ropes. They know he can take the battle to Humongous, and deep down in their hearts, they're hoping that he can beat him. Right across a backbreaker. As we're now on see Humongous in his most devastating best. As again he aims that hockey mask of his. finding the lower back of Jake, the target, a good target. Humongous now snatches him up into that bear hug. Notice he's putting the pressure to the lower back, that same lower back that he's been working on with that hockey mask. As he's trying to wear down Jake the Snake, trying to squeeze him right into submission. Close-up shot of that huge upper body of Humongous as he continues to pour the squeeze to Jake. Your referee in this match is Carl Fergie. My name is Peter Burkholz. And this is just a tight match we expected. Both men giving it everything they have. Jake trying to use his hockey mask to find some escape. You see Carl Fergie lifting up the arm. Ends up to Carl Fergie to call the match. We may have an unconscious Jake the Snake. At that time, he holds up his left arm. That was an important thing to do. It was a signal to the referee not to ring the bell, that Jake the Snake is still very much alive as he falls to the mat. Humongous. Trying to finish him off. The guillotine drop missed. And that's good news for Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, still groggy, still not quite aware of where he's at in the ring, fell right into that bear hug trap again. You can't see him outside the ring, but Sir Oliver Humperdink, confident, screaming, "This is it, this is it." He does not want to have to get inside the ring with Jake the Snake Roberts, and that will take place if Jake the Snake Roberts is able to beat Humongous in this match tonight. Lifts him up, and that time, using the weight of Humongous, he was able to bring him down on his knee. Remember, no disqualifications. Now fans are calling for it. Jake, and there's the DDT. Jake the Snake has landed the DDT. Jake's on top. 1, 2, but that's it. As Sir Oliver Humperdink came rushing to the aid of Humongous. And Jake the Snake now working over Sir Oliver Humperdink. Humongous still down on the mat. But he's got to come back now. And Jake is working over Humperdink. Humperdink is bleeding. Jake the Snake is caught now by Humongous. The match has not been called yet. Jake the Snake was just one count away from winning when Sir Oliver Humperdink interfered. Humongous putting a squeeze to him. Jake the Snake never saw him coming. He never saw Humongous coming. And Carl Fergie is down on the mat, checking Jake the Snake. Sir Oliver Humperdink is right above us. He's cut open. And Humongous continues. And the match is being called. Jake the Snake, I believe, thought he had won the match. That's why he was taken completely by the surprise by Humongous. The match is being called for by referee Carl Fergie. Now Sir Oliver Humperdink requesting the mic.
Roberts, you wanted 5 minutes with me? Well, what about my 5 minutes with you?
So Sir Oliver Humperdink wants 5 minutes. Well, that's mighty brave of him when Jake the Snake is down and out.
Humongous!
Sir Oliver Humperdink now claiming that he just beat Jake the Snake, and that's not true. You saw what happened. Jake the Snake landed the DDT. Humongous was down. Sir Oliver Humperdink interfered. And now we've got Hacksaw Duggan. Duggan comes in to even the score. And when Hacksaw Duggan comes in, wrestlers start to run out for safety. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and listen to this crowd. And they have gone completely crazy. The Hacksaw came in to the rescue of Jake the Snake, a man who landed the DDT on Humongous. But we'll be back with more Houston wrestling action. What a match. We'll be back with more Houston wrestling action in just one moment. Next Friday night. That's a day after Thanksgiving, a tremendous Thanksgiving card, a super night, a super savage showdowns, including a steel cage battle. Jake the Snake Roberts up against a man that most wrestling fans should stay in a steel cage, Humongous.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Maybe he does belong locked up, but let me tell you something. Let me tell everybody out here in Houston something. First of all, when that match started tonight, I told you that headgear that Jake Roberts is wearing should be banned, and he shouldn't be allowed to wear it. That could cause somebody serious damage, as you can see. And another thing, Jake Roberts, you won't be able to next Friday night get your hands on me because you have a fate worse than death, brother. You have to come to the Coliseum here, climb into the ring, into a 10-foot-tall steel cage with the man who is a raving lunatic right now, brother. Do you think he's happy about seeing me like this? Do you think he likes to see me all busted up? Well, he doesn't. Jake Roberts is going to be two of you walking in, but, brother, I know there's going to be one walking out, and it's the creature you see behind me now. It's gone as far as it can go. And I'm up to here with it. And I'm up to you, here with you, too, because you're giving me a hard time, too. But next Friday night right here in Houston, when they slam that door and lock that door, brother, there won't be nobody coming in and nobody going out. And when I found this guy, I promised him he'd never have to be locked up again. And he's going to be awfully upset come Friday night right here at the Coliseum. Now, is there anything else you want to ask me?
Locked up inside a steel cage.
Hey, that guy doesn't talk. He doesn't talk to you or anybody else. He responds to me only. And Roberts, I want you to get a good close shot of what's going to be waiting for you inside the steel cage. You know, that just suits me fine. I'm happy about it. I'm going to be here with bells on. And Roberts, he's going to take you and like a tomato, he's going to squish you through a screen door, brother.
Inside a steel cage, locked inside the steel cage, Jake the Snake Roberts and Humongous. Don't forget that this coming Friday night, the day after Thanksgiving.
Here in the Sam Houston Coliseum, we are reviving a tradition that started here in the city of Houston and in the Coliseum many years ago, and that is putting the two wrestlers who wanted to tear each other apart and prevent interference inside a cage. The final event at the Sam Houston Coliseum on Friday night, the night after Thanksgiving, will put Humongous and Jake the Snake.
You know, it's going to be a little bit different this time, Mr. Botts, because, you know, all the other matches, you haven't got a cage around them. But this one, we're going to have a cage because there's one reason, and that's to keep Humperdink out of there so I can finish the job I've started on Humongous. Now, you know, sometimes a man gets real hungry inside. He's going to eat now, isn't he?
He sure is.
And if a man gets thirsty, he's going to find something to drink now.
He sure is.
That's right. Well, everybody's talking about the way I dressed this evening. Well, I may go to the ring in my snakeskin boots and my long red head pants and my mask, and I may even wear a cobra for a necktie. But I tell you something, the day before Thanksgiving, I'm not eating. Thanksgiving Day, I'm not eating. But the day after Thanksgiving, when I get to Sam Houston Coliseum and they wrap us up in that cage where nobody can bother us, then I'll have all the turkey I want, I promise you that.
No question about it. And
everybody out here knows how it's going to end, don't you? Come on. You hear them? So you come on out and tell me why I can't be the best.
Jake the Snake. And Jake the Snake can tell you this, that when this man's aroused, he's a thinking man's wrestler. He's one of the most intelligent men in the wrestling game. And he doesn't make a move without considering the consequences.
What a night of wild, savage, bloody battles, including the match between Buzz Sawyer and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So wild, so bloody that promoter Paul Bosch, along with Mid-South Wrestling, have signed these same two rough men back next Friday night. That's this coming Friday night, Sam Houston Coliseum. This time, Texas death match. No disqualifications, no limit on the number of falls. A battle to the finish.
You know, you just said it. Right here in Houston, a big state of Texas where our thing stinks. I don't like it in Texas. I don't like the people in Texas. And most of all, I don't like you, Jim Duggan, however you spell it, however many G's. Listen to me, tough guy. You know, we're going to go one step further. No DQ. I mean, it was wild, and it was crazy, and it was painful, but I like it. Because the reason I like it, because I'm the toughest man walking on the face of God's green earth. And you're going to learn it real quick, Dugan. Because I want you to know something, Dugan. When you come, the pinfalls don't count. You can be all bloody and beat up and be counter 1, 2, 3. What this is, you got to reach down real deep, tough guy. And you got to get to the floor. You got to get to the ring. You got to stand up. Whoever answers the bell for the count of 10, that's how you tell who the toughest guy is. I just want to leave Dugan with one thing in his brain to throw around. And I know that Paul Bosch and Mid-South had this in their mind when they were scheming and all, getting the Texas Death Match together. I want you to think of that old scraggly-haired hag that I accidentally.
You may pay for that accident.
I accidentally dropped 260 pounds on that old raggedy hag. I want you to think about the day that you was carrying around and tears were coming out of your eyes and you were actually crying, you sissy. So come on, tough guy. Come on down and make my day. Texas Death Match!
This Friday night, Sam Houston Coliseum.
You know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I've been wrestling in Houston wrestling for a long time. And I've been in all different kinds of matches, and I've faced all different kinds of foes. But I want to tell you folks something. I have never faced a man like Buzz Sawyer because you split him open, you beat him up, and he keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back for more and more and more, which is fine with Hacksaw Jim Duggan because I'm not a hard man to find, Mr. Bosch. And tonight, it was a war. It was a bloodbath. But Sawyer, you had to come back after you already got beat one time and start jumping people from behind. So next time, like you said, post-Thanksgiving, so have yourself a good Thanksgiving dinner, post-Thanksgiving match. This is Texas rules match. Falls don't count. We just keep going at each other, Sawyer. We just keep going and going and going. Yeah, you split me open. You knocked me down on the ground. But surprise, surprise, surprise. Who popped back up? Hacksaw Jim Duggan popped back up, and I popped you up right alongside your head. And then I set him up with that spear, Mr. Bosch, and sent him out of the ring. Count him out, 10 count, and I'm up there proud as a peacock, wondering where he is. And then he comes sneaking up from behind. So I'm going to make one thing perfectly clear. Sawyer, this is going to be a war. No wrestling match, no fighting. It's a fight for survival, and may the best man win. And I'm the best man, Sawyer.
And that's what fans think.
Tough guy.
Well, all of a sudden we find there are people here in the Coliseum, even as late as this match here tonight in the Sam Houston Coliseum is one that might bring Dick Slater a $50,000 bounty if he can remove Butch Reed from wrestling completely. Butch Reed, and I'm watching him closely, and he got my attention. I want to tell you, I'm watching this man because I can see in his eyes something I have not seen before. He is aimed at destruction of Dickie Slater. They both have similar ideas. And on the outside of the ring is Dark Journey. Dark Journey is the lady who accompanies Dick Slater as he comes down to the ring. And look at Butch Reed, a massive man, magnificently built, but every inch of his body and every pound of his weight has utility. He is a man who can bench press more than 500 pounds. He's a man who can lift his opponents over his head and slam him to the canvas without losing all of his strength and power and tiring himself out. He is a magnificent athlete, Butch Reed. Dickie Slater, as he gets out of there, there's Slater coming back in with a chair, and there's Butch Reed as he starts swinging that chair. And what a night here at the Sam Houston Coliseum. There is still things happening all over the ringside. And now Dick Slater leaves the ringside, and Butch Reed gets the ovation that he deserves.
I'm standing next to North American Heavyweight Champion Hacksaw Butch Reed, a marked man by World's Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair and hitmen like Dickie Slater. This Friday night on the Holiday Bonanza, Hacksaw Butch Reed will defend his North American Heavyweight title belt against Dick Slater.
That's right, and I'm more than willing. You understand what I'm talking about, Peter? Because people like Slater just make me real tired in places that I cannot mention on this TV. The last time in Houston, you people seen me whoop Dick Slater into a bloody pulp. And see, it only just begins there, Peter. You understand what I'm talking about? Because when a man is paid a bounty to take out another human being, then he's the lowest thing that ever walks on God's green earth. He's lower than a snake's belly crawling around in the sand. So I got this to tell you, Slater, and I got this to tell you, Ric Flair. I'm going to take care of your hitman, Flair. They hurt me. They hurt me real bad. You got to pay for my neck. You got to pay for the humiliation of your woman getting in my face. That's another thing. A woman belongs in her place. And if you can't keep her in her place, Slater, I'm gonna knock her in her place. So you people get ready for another knockdown, drag out when the North American champion comes to town, because I'm ready. And I'm ready to take Dick Slater out, and then after him, it's you, Flair.